Hello everyone. Welcome to another video of the monthly analysis of Indian share market. In this video, I'm going to present my analysis of the Indian share market's performance for the month of May 2025. We'll see the key market indices performance, basically the broader indices. Then we'll move on to the sector's performance. We'll check out the IPO, OFS, and other market activities. We'll then see how the gold, silver, currency exchange rate, and oil performed. We'll also have a look at the international markets, how the top economies of the world performed in the month of May. And then finally, we'll check the future outlook for the month of June and conclude this video. Before moving on, please read the entire disclaimer carefully. So let's start with the key market indices performance. So this graph shows the returns of top five broader indices of the Indian share market. First one is the Nifty 50. So the Nifty 50 gave returns of 1.7%. So it's a respectable returns, not bad at all. Then is the next Nifty Next 50 with better returns 3.49%. Then Nifty Mid Cap 100 with even better returns of 6.09%. And then Nifty Small Cap 250 with massive returns of 9.59% in a single month. And these are the index returns, not a single stock return, index returns. And finally, Nifty 500, very good returns of 3.50%. So, overall, I would say a good month for the market. Even if we only consider Nifty 50, even then 1.71% is not bad at all. Let's move on and see the sector's performance now. Now, this graph shows the performance of the sector in the month of May, and one sector is clearly the outstanding sector, which is the defense sector with 21.84% return in a single month. Capital markets and media too were very good sectors with 13.93% returns and 13.04% returns respectively. Other significant returns were from realty, PSU bank, and metal sector. So, all in all, a very good month for most of the sectors except three. FMCG, the worst performing sector, in fact, gave the negative returns of minus 2.06%, pharma with minus 1.52%, and tourism with minus 0.63%. So, apart from these three sectors, all other sectors performed reasonably well in the month of May. Let's move on and see the IPO, OFS, and other market activities. So, in the IPO space, in the main board segment, there were six IPOs which were open for subscription. Three were listed in May. In SME segment, 14 IPOs were open for subscription. 10 were listed in May. In OFS space, there were in fact five OFS that were scheduled for May. One was retracted at the very last time, but four went through. First was the Ether Industries Limited, next Vent India Limited, next is Tomev Construction and Infrastructure Limited, and finally the Sagility India Limited OFS. Then there were several SEBI strict actions against individuals and companies. SEBI bans the LS Industries promoters and others. Also, in Sadhana Broadcast Pump and Dump scheme case, the Bollywood actor Arshad Varsi, his wife, and several others were barred to enter the market for the next 5 years. And the IndusInd Bank insider trading case is still ongoing in as we have completed May. Some other miscellaneous points. So the FIIs turned net buyer in May with 11,773 crore net buying. DIIs invested six times more than the FIIs with 67,642 crores. Mutual fund SIPs reached the top with 26,632 crores. And a couple of days back, Very good news about the GDP came out, and the Q4 GDP growth was 7.4%, which beats the estimates and the projections. So very good news for the Indian share market. Let's move on to the gold, silver, currency, and oil rates. So for gold, it was appreciated by 1.65% in the month of May and closed at around 97,310 for 24 carat per 10 grams. At one point of time in the month, it touched a high of 99,600 and a low of 93,930 rupees. Checking out silver, so silver too was appreciated, and it was appreciated by 1.94% in the month of May and closed at around 99,900 per kilogram. At one point of time during the month, it touched 1 lakh 1,000 level, and at the bottom, it made it around 96,900 low. The USD to INR currency exchange rate, so it was appreciated by 1.48% and closed at around 85.55 for 1 USD. So this is not good for India. Uh, at one time in the month, in around third week of May, it reached to 86 rupees, 86.10 rupees per 86.10 rupees per USD. And at another time, the low was 83.85 rupees for us 1 USD. Talking about oil, so oil was depreciated by 5.43% in a single month, which is a quite a significant depreciation. The average price of the Indian basket of oil is around $64.05 per barrel. It is expected to hover around 65 barrel in the near future due to the increased output by the OPEC countries. Okay, let's now move on to the international market and check out how they performed in the month of May. So now this graph shows the top 10 economies of the world, and India has surpassed Japan and become the fourth uh, economy in the world. So that's a good thing. Now, if you see, the top performer was Germany with 6.67%, Italy with 6.60%, and probably USA with 6.15%. Rest all gave okay returns. At least all the top economies gave positive result. None of them gave negative results. So this is the uh, result of or the returns of their major index in each of these economies. And you can see India is the second worst performer in the month of May among the top 10 economies of the world with 1.71%. So this is the Nifty 50's return 1.71%. Brazil being the worst with 1.45%. Now let's move on. And so we have checked the international markets. Now let's see the future outlook for the month of June, and then I'll conclude. So there are six key factors and trends to watch out in June. First is the RBI Monetary Policy Committee, that is the MPC meeting, which is scheduled to meet on 4th of June, and the decision is expected on 6th of June. Market sentiment will be highly sensitive to the MPC's decision, with the rate cut likely to boost growth oriented sectors and overall market sentiment. Number two is the inflation data of India and US. Investors will closely monitor May inflation data for both India and the US, expected to be released in June for both of the countries. For India, the focus will be on whether the easing inflation trend continues. For US, inflation data will be crucial for global market cues and the Federal Reserve's stance on interest rates. Any signs of persistent inflation in the US could reinforce a hawkish stance by the Fed, potentially leading to continued foreign institutional investors, that is the FII outflows from emerging markets like India and Brazil. Third is the FII behavior. So FII flows in June will be a critical determinant of market direction. Any increase in their buying trend could provide a strong uplift to the market. At number four is the global economic uncertainty and geopolitical tensions. So the US tariff bullying will be monitored closely worldwide, and their president's U turn also will be monitored alongside it. Number five is the corporate earnings and valuations. So the Q4 financial year 24-25 earnings have generally been mixed, and the valuations, especially in the mid and small cap segments, are still a cause of concern for some analysts. And number six is the sector specific development. So, auto sales figure, which will come on the first day of the first working day, that is 2nd of June, and the monsoon progress will impact the performance of the share market in June. So overall, June 2025 is expected to be a period of consolidation with potential for upward momentum, provided that key macroeconomic data, especially inflation, remains favorable and the RBI's monetary policy provides supportive signals. Geopolitical factors and FII inflows will dictate short-term volatility. Finally, to conclude, May was a month of significant structural change driven by SEBI's regulatory push, active corporate maneuvers, and continued market activity, setting the stage for how the Indian share market will evolve in the coming months. So that is all from my side in this video. Thanks for watching it. Please share, comment, and subscribe. I'll be back soon with another video. Till then, goodbye.